Jimmy Jungle when I dribble to a dribble. But now you're going to slobber and you're crying in the middle of a goblet. Benihana, Benihana, Benihana. Hatchy, hatchy, hooky, pokey, mozzarella, itchy poo. Reading around the collar, heavy petting up the shoe. You're eating cold lasagna on Wonder Woman with Madonna, with Madonna. Baklava, baklava, baklava.
Hello, gentlemen. I'm pliable. Yeah, I will do what people tell me. I will do what people tell me. Well, yeah, that's true. I would be willing to bet that we are the only show that uses log for our themes. Oh, really? Getting a lot of return on that $5. Oh, sorry, Hart. Before we get any further, I want to give a shout out to my wife Donna and her team, some of her coworkers and some friends who this evening participated in the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cycle for Survival. They get together and this was in Equinox in Brooklyn, and they were riding to raise money for like the really crazy cancers, not just regular cancer, but like pancreatic cancer and the really bad ones. I think this is like the fifth or sixth year that the Having a Good Time team. Yeah, well, like the really really bad, terrible ones. Yeah, they really need a lot of funding. So I think this is like the fifth or sixth year that she's done this, and kudos to her and her team. They raise a lot of money every year. So yeah, it was at Equinox in. Yeah. Yeah, but there's like literally hundreds of people in this room, and it's like a giant spin class. And I think it lasts about 4 hours. So you just ride as much as you can. You can take a break when you need to. So, no, she got out of there. It ended at 8 o'clock. So she'll, yeah, got to get on the train and then back to here too. Well, because it's near work. She works in Brooklyn, so. But congratulations to her and the other folks from J.P. Morgan Chase and anyone who's not from J.P. Morgan Chase who's on the team. So just wanted to mention that. Oh, yeah, that's that was my fault. There we go. Well, the old saying is you get what you pay for. So, this is free, and so we're making the most of it. But yeah, but the good news is it's not, but it's not, costing anybody whatever, $90 a month. So, yes, indeed. Meme of the week. You know what? You love it, except for Harry, who hates it, which is why we do it. Yeah, yeah. He's going to have his revenge. All right. Yeah. I remember as I remember it, he enjoyed it very much. So, well, actually, this is where the '80s TV glitchy graphics make it actually almost worthwhile. All right, so without further ado, our meme of the week. I what if you violated all of yeah, if you violated all of these things at once, what would you think would the fine would be? Is that yeah, is that the fine, or is that the speed, or is that the breathalyzer measurement? Is that how much your phone bill cost? That's how much the hooker that you're cheating on your wife costs. It's all $50. Yeah, that's a Pentax. Yeah, that's a Pentax MX1 right there, uh, which apparently has Wi-Fi. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, maybe it's $50 for each of those violations. So if you're in Rego Park, it's $50. Maybe. So, assuming that a head does not cost you any money, it would be 450 if you were doing all of those things. If you were smoking a joint, speeding through a red light in Rego Park, breathing while not paying your mortgage or your phone bill with a hooker. Ay, ay, ay. A decent amount of drugs, it's 50. 50% oxygen? I don't know, maybe. You're whacking off to your wife to a picture of your wife's friend, so you're half infidelity. Yeah, okay. That's good stuff. Well, Wi-Fi on the side of your camera. All right. Well, there you go. That's meme of the week. This week, meme of the week brought to you by things that should never happen, like Nestle's French's drumsticks with ketchup, mustard, and barbecue sauce in the middle. Um, As far as I know, it is. Yeah, Nestle, things that should never happen. Sponsoring our meme of the week. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. Well, SpongeBob is laughing too, but no one else enjoys it. All right, so there we go. By the way, if anybody wants to give us the chat with us, you can chat with us on any of the platforms that we're on there, the YouTubes and the Twitches and the Facebook Lives. So you can text, or you can rather message us, and it'll pop up on the screen, and then we'll show it to everybody. Yeah, well, and you notice I'm back. I haven't given up on the Jets. Yeah, I am the equipment manager. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you can see behind me all the stuff on the. So, what do we want to talk about first? Do we want to start with the baseball? Do we want to start with? Do you guys want to talk about the Giants and Stafford, or? All right. Oh, do you want to see the big? Do you want to see the big football intro, or just go with the background? All right. Yeah, we got a big football. By the time I got it together, pretty much football season was over. But let's start with the football intro. Yes, indeed. One of the great runs of all time. Cooper Cup. Well, look, probably he. Oh, hey, listen, he probably would have been one of the better choices as far as if they're gonna draft somebody and have Stafford as a mentor. Hard for me to think of anybody that you know be bad for Stafford, and really you'd only be expecting a year out of him, and maybe he. I mean, yeah, but he's one of those guys. He's going to play another year, and until it probably right. So he would want two. The Giants would really only want one, and but then if you say to him, we really only want you for 1 year to help nurture whoever they draft, and then make yourself tradable, and we'll send you someplace else or whatever. Then maybe you get that out of him, but that's not really what he wants. So yeah. Yeah, his numbers were not terrible. Yeah, they didn't translate to wins, but they were not terrible. Yep. Although what I've something one thing I've been reading, and we talked about his numbers and compared to Garrett Wilson's numbers and all that, there was some discontent among the Jets that Aaron Rodgers was favoring his good buddy Adams as much as he was. But that's yes, but again, and I talked about Garrett Wilson getting upset about that as you know the number one. Is he really the number one? You know, do you want to do that to Malik Neighbors if you're the Giants? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, what kind of disinformation are we talking about? So you think multiple teams are saying he was disrespectful, he seemed disinterested, just so that they can send his hopefully send his draft stock down, and then they can get him later on. Now, are they doing this independently, or do you think this is a collusion thing? Is it possible that maybe it's actually happening, and maybe this is Sanders, sort of playing a little bit of a game here, taking a page out of his dad's playbook? Because the story about Dion and the Giants, right? He went to the Giants. They were going to interview him before the draft, and they gave him this stack of paper, some test that he was supposed to take. And Sanders supposedly said, When is your first pick?" And whatever it was, he said, "Oh, I won't be around that long. I don't have to do this. You guys aren't drafting me. I won't be there for you." So, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that multiple teams are really going to say, "Oh, Sanders is, not interested, and he's arrogant, and he doesn't seem like he." Well, that's what I just read today. That's what I just read today. Two teams independent of each other said exactly the same thing. Arrogant, disinterested in the interview, disrespectful, doesn't seem like he's really interested in those teams at all. Yeah, now, right, it might be because he has no intention of going to those teams. Right. But I mean, yeah. Yeah, they haven't chosen a clear path, and we are going to do this, and we're going to make it work. Yeah, they got a rough schedule. It's pretty rough. They're addressing it with Korean veterans. Yeah. All right. Well, at least. Okay. All right. Well, good thing there's not much to talk about in the NFL. I love this show. All I got to do is go football. How about them Giants? 28 minutes later. Did you watch the combine results on Good Morning Football? They had combine highlights on Get Up Football. It's going to be Russell Wilson. Sure, why not? Listen, here's the difference. The Giants, you got lots of scenarios, lots of things to talk about. That's great. Jets, really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It could be, yeah, yeah, and then he could return to true form. Yeah, he was. So yeah, no, I don't know. I'll listen. It's part of what makes being a Jet fan great. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. Listen, we could see. We could have Ryan Tannehill under center next year. It's a possibility. So, well, it's after Zach Wilson's mother. You know, we gotta have a hottie in there. We gotta have a player related hottie. You know, something to look at during the game. For once, it's not Mel Kiper. Great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you want to know? Oh, it's a project like any other project. So, well, there's one way to ruin a guy, and that's to put him on the Jets. If he gets to sit and learn, then okay, probably. I think he's got talent, you know. Um, but you can't. You've got good weapons with the Jets. You've got a running back. Um, yeah, that's the thing. If you're gonna protect, yeah, whoever you bring in, you have to protect them. And if you can't protect them, it doesn't matter who it is. But I think Sanders. I don't have a greater amount of faith that he'll come out of college and be great in the pros. More faith in him than anybody else. I mean, maybe a little bit more that he'll be a quality player than I would. I would I would put him and Cam Ward kind of on the same level, maybe. Maybe Sanders a little bit higher. Yeah, they are. But I think they both have more potential for success than who's the other guy you just mentioned? Dart. You know. So Dart's a guy you can't put him in the first year, I don't think. I don't think any of them should play the first year, but I think if you're going to put Sanders or right, if you're going to put Sanders or Ward in because you're desperate and you need them, you're more likely to get a better product immediately and hopefully down the road than you will with Dart. Dart, if you could sit him for a year behind a veteran, maybe you can develop him into something and he might be great. But throw him to the Wolves, I think he's going to flounder. He's got a great name. That's well, he's Alabama, but that doesn't mean what it used to be, right? Alabama's not quite Alabama. It's not an autumn, right? But Yeah, but he didn't graduate from Alabama 2 years ago. It was a little, he said, is he an Anthony Richardson? Hype, very. Yeah. As it should be. As it should be. Yeah. Well, they're persistent. I agree. Okay. It was well, the guy in the restaurant kept giving us the stink eye because we weren't ordering anything. I mean, that might have been the case. Yeah, yeah, we had soup and we had we do had, yeah, had some stuff, but we were Well, look, I come from a restaurant family, and for us, it was never really an issue. We never told anybody they had to leave or anything. Only like New Year's Eve would be kind of a thing where we would sort of hustle people out. But and then yeah, and then us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, good thing there wasn't much to talk about in football. You got to give up on the Giants. Come over to the Jets bandwagon. You have him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the most optimistic. I'm like Giants. They'll win 8. Giants will win 8 or 9. No, they won't. Yeah, the last year was a bit of a beater for him. Yeah. All right. What do we want to? Okay. Ah, there we go. Who is, for all intents and purposes, the Giants quarterback right now? He's the only one signed, right? Yeah. Nah, nah, nah. All right. Where do we want to go next? Baseball? All right. Jizzy Chizzy. Yeah. Schlemiel Schlemazel. Hurt again, yeah. Is he home run happy or? No, and it's spring training, and it's spring training. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'll just say, I think I hope we see good things from both New York teams again, and I hope the Mets mindset is not that we are going to get there again. We deserve to get there again. It was pretty special what they did considering the start they had last year, and I hope they remember that, and don't take it for granted. Yeah, but Alonso, I think Alonso's the guy who will fans will look to. They'll love him, the polar bear, and all of that. But I don't know how much he really wants to be the team leader. It doesn't seem like it's his personality. But if Lindor continues to live up to his contract, and Pete can quietly go about improving his numbers, obviously his average and whatnot. That's the way I think it happens. If Lindor is struggling and everyone's looking to Alonso to lead the team, I think that just puts him in a mindset where he is just not as productive. He needs to be quiet behind the scenes and just allowed to kind of do his thing and be loved, but not be expected to talk to the team, not be expected to give them a rousing speech. It's just not his way. So I think Lindor is really the key to not only Lindor's success and the team's success, but I think he will take that heat, the spotlight, the pressure, if he performs well, and I think that'll make if Alonso's in that situation, I think he can be more productive. All right. Anything else we got for baseball? All right. Do you want to do a little over-under? Because I have a little baseball, and then I have a lot of basketball over-under. So we could do that. We could lead from baseball into basketball, and then we could talk about basketball. Over-under. Big over-under. I'd suggest you guys pull up the NBA standings on your computers right now, because you're going to need them. And I feel like if we do the basketball talk, then we're going to squash all the over-under. Because we're going to already sort of talk about what it is. So is that all right? We'll do a little over. Yeah, all right, there we go. So yeah, so let's do a little over under, one quick baseball thing, and then we'll do some basketball, and then we'll do NBA talks. That work? All right, so yeah, pull up the NBA standings, and we'll run our special opening for over under. I'm quite proud of this, by the way. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Well, I've got no chance of losing this time.
All right. Yeah, Jerry Solo, but same thing. Yeah, Jerry Garcia, man. I don't think so. It's not enough. It's only like 8 seconds. I think you're good if you're under. You can sample. It's under 10, right? I don't know. It's not. You know who's the? No, Facebook is the worst. I think, or I don't know. Maybe YouTube is the worst with copyright. Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's do a little over under for baseball. One quick thing. One thing for baseball, and then we'll go to basketball. All right. So home runs. Aaron Judge over under 50.5. Under. All right. I'm gonna say under as well. Pete Alonso over under 40.5. John says over. Harry says under. I'm going to say over too. 36. All right, there we go. All right, so now on to the NBA. So looking at the standings, we've got, about 20 games left or so? Is that about right? Yeah, so. All right, so we're going to look at 10 teams getting into the playoffs, right? And I'm going to ask you about the seedings in both the East and the West. And we're going to do over-under on the seedings for these various teams. Got it? So remember, under thinks it's going to be a higher seed. Over thinks it'll be a lower seed. There we go. So 25% of the season, roughly. Not that everything is all set, but we kind of know who's good and who's not. So it's over under a seeding number. So if you're going under, you think it's going to be a higher seed because it'll be a smaller number, so a higher number. If you think it's over, it's going to be a lower seed. All right, got all that? Yeah, kind of. All right, let me turn this music down just a little bit. It seems a little loud to me. I don't know. It drowns us out. That's nice. All right. Oh, that's weird. Oh, well. Whatever. All right, so here we go. Let's start in the East. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. Over, under 1.5. So you're basically deciding who you think the number one seed is. So Cleveland, Harry is going under. As are you. I'm going to say No, 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 no. I don't want your top three teams. I'm going to say over. I think the Celtics are going to be number one. Yeah, we'll see. Well, so I have to, I have to. Uh, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be. I can't go chalk. All right. Um. All right. So now we have four teams: the Knicks, the Bucks, the Pacers, and the Pistons. Over under 4.5. So yeah, kind of, yeah. So Knicks and Bucks are going to be under. All right, I think Pacers and Pistons will be over. Well, I think the Knicks are going to be under. I think the Bucks are going to be over. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm taking the Pistons for the other under. So Knicks and Pistons, and then Bucks and Pacers. All right, next up, Heat, Magic, Hawks, and Bulls. 8.5. So the Bulls are. So the Heat are under, and who else is under? The Bulls are under for you. Oh, so no, so that would be the over. So they would be the over. And John and so Magic and Hawks will be under. Well, I'm going to ask about them in a second. So Johnny, you think Heat's under, Bulls are over? Magic and Bulls are under. So Bulls are going to be the eighth seed. All right. So the Heat and the Bulls will be under 8, according to John. The Magic and the Hawks will be over. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. I think the Heat will be under. I think the Bulls will be over, and I'm going to take the Hawks to be over, and the Magic to be under. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, and finally, um, and again, this sort of goes against what have just done, but Nets and the Sixers, 10.5. Will either one of them sneak in? Now you could say, look, the Bulls are going to be over 8.5. You could also think they might be over 10.5 and then not get in the playoffs, but so the Nets are under, Sixers are over. John? Johnny, any hope for either of these two? We all want to see the Nets in, I think. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is really exposing the flaw in the playoff system as it exists. It's one thing when everybody is kind of around 500, and you really can sort of, well, they're not very good, but it's parity. This is just bad teams that have no business being in the. Yeah, yeah. So John, what are you saying? Anybody got a chance here? Right. All right. So we'll put you, but not in the playoffs. Yeah, yeah. All right. So I'll put you for under for the Nets. Um, I'm gonna go over on both because I'm a Nets fan and I'm realistic. But I appreciate your support, guys. It's nice. It's nice. I like it. All right, let's head to the West. Oklahoma City over under 1.5. Yeah. Okay. I had to put them in there though. All right, this is going to be the Wizards did not make this list, by the way. You'll notice. All right, this could be interesting. Lakers, Nuggets, Rockets, Grizzlies, Warriors, Timberwolves, over under 4.5. So you're going to have to decide who do you think is going to be 2, 3, and 4, and who's going to be 5, 6, and 7. So you think Lakers, Nuggets, Grizzlies are under? Rockets, Warriors, Timberwolves are going to be over 4.5. Yeah, yeah. Listen, they. Let me just look at this real quick. Okay. So I'm gonna say Lakers, Nuggets, and I think I'm gonna go Grizzlies for my third under. Um, no, no, I'm. Oh yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, that's true. Because I was thinking about taking the Rockets. Um, but then I changed my mind at the last second. But my mouth didn't catch up to my brain there. Yeah, All right. Kings, Clippers, Mavericks, 8.5. Kings are the under. It can't. Yeah. No. All right. So, Johnny, who's going to be the eight? So the Clippers will be over and the Mavs will be over. And right. I mean, you guys are saying the math, like being over 8.5 doesn't mean they're definitely going to make the playoffs. They could be over 10.5 too. They could drop. All right. So I think yeah, I got to agree with you guys. I think that's right. All right. So Suns, Blazers, Spurs, 10.5. You think the Suns are going to get in, Harry? So they're an under, I guess. Okay. That's so sad, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna say the Suns are over. I'm gonna take the Blazers for the under. And I agree. Wemby out, Spurs don't have a shot. Just to be contrarian. All right, and that is over under for today. How about that? Where do we, okay? So now we go to basketball in general. I guess we could talk about it because it is going on as opposed to football and baseball. So what do we want to say about basketball? Yeah, it kind of works. No, Luca's points average is probably almost in half of what it was in Dallas. Yep. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's amazing how that team went from they don't play any defense, but they have Luca. They score some points a couple years ago, right? To a contender who finally got it together and might be a destination in the future. To Mavericks. What the hell are they ever? How long is it going to take for them to get back to anything now? Yeah, there's going to be some story that comes out like 15 years from now, and we'll hear it and we'll go, ah, that makes sense. May not be true, but it'll make sense. Well, Jerry Jones. NBA, the Lakers, when the Lakers do well, everybody does well. The news that's when the networks lead with the Lakers in basketball. You mean active players? Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm right. I'm sure the NBA would love to see the Warriors make a nice run. I don't like this team. All right, let's talk a little hockey. Let me ask you one question before we get into the nitty gritty, because obviously I don't know any of the nitty gritty, so I just listen to you guys. But remember when we were talking, I guess at the last show, about um, hockey and the tournament of four or whatever it was, four favorites or whatever, and we thought it was a good, yeah, it was an interesting, thing, and maybe a good take instead of the All Star game and all that stuff. I heard somebody say something, whatever, a week and a half ago, um, about that. And while they liked the mini tournament and all that stuff, and there was some discussion about whether American players really cared or this or that, but that wasn't really the point. The point they were making is, why did the NHL like not have any games? I know it was the All Star and all that, but this was a time period where nothing else was going on. Football was over. Baseball was barely into pitchers and catchers or whatever it was, into spring training, but not playing any real games. Basketball was just sort of logging along. Why didn't hockey? They didn't have games for like 12 days or whatever it was outside of the tournament. Did they? The point was, right. But this guy's point was, why didn't they showcase the actual games when they had a break when nothing was going on? Because it's great if you watch the tournament, which the play takes place over a week or whatever it was, but that was the question. This one person was saying, well, why didn't they just have some games? Because there was nothing else really on to watch.
We get the it's going to give the casual fan something to root for, even if they're not a hockey fan. Yeah. Right. 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 Mhm. Which seems strange because Kornheiser says I don't know anything about hockey, and Wilbon is certainly outside of the Blackhawks not a hockey fan. But you're right. The Yeah, it does. Right. Ironically. And if it's not talked about, how is it? It's never going to grow. It's certainly going to grow more if it's talked about. What about pickleball? Interesting. That's bold. Yeah. Well, right. Look, but right, soccer in this country, it's not a quote unquote native sport, and we're not good at it, other than the women's team, who's fantastic at it. Yeah, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. All right. So how about a little Are They For Real? Um,
hockey style. We got a little Are They For Real hockey style.
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah. What is real?
Sorry, go ahead. What were you about to say? Oh, no, the mic wasn't on, so... Oh, yeah. But, you know, what is interesting is now we're seeing baseball and basketball come around with rap. Yeah, so... All right, so... The only real sport there is. All right, so Are They For Real? Hockey edition. And we're going to talk about, again, we've got, what do we got? 58, so we've got about 30-ish games left to go. 40, 60, 20-ish games or so left to go. So we're going to talk about wild cards and who we think is the most for real in the wild card race as it stands heading into the action tonight. So, Eastern Conference, the Atlantic, top three teams are the Leafs, the Panthers, Tampa Bay. Metropolitan, you got the Capitals, Hurricanes, and my New Jersey Devils. And then for the wild card, we've got the Blue Jackets, the Rangers, the Red Wings, and I'll throw the Senators in there, and I'll throw the Canadiens in there. I won't throw the Bruins in there. So the Canadiens, the Senators, Red Wings, Rangers, and Blue Jackets, all at least 30 wins. Although Boston's only a point out of it. But we got to find a breaking point somewhere. So amongst those teams, which two you think are the most for real to at least get the wild card? Red Wings and Rangers. Nice. I'll write that down. JJ Red Wings and the Rangers. Harry, the Blue Jackets and the Rangers. I will say, I can't root for the Rangers. I'll say Blue Jackets, and I'll take the Senators. Why not? All right. So head to the West. Central, we got the Jets, Stars, and the Wild. Pacific, the Golden Knights, Oilers, and the Kings. And the wild card teams, let's take Colorado, Calgary, Vancouver, St. Louis, and Utah. So you guys are going chalk. Yeah, I have to take the Avs just because, Harry, where you live. Yeah. You know what? I'll take St. Louis. Why not? Why not? So, yeah, listen, anything can happen. It's freaking hockey. Nobody knows anything about it, at least not me, so. You know. And, I think that's about it. Oh no, I had almost forgot. March Madness is upon us. We got, our next show will be day 2 of the first 4, the play-in games. And maybe if we talk enough, then maybe those games will be over and we'll know who's actually in the tournament. But I assume we're just going to do, Final 4 and Final 2 in the winter? Yeah. All right. There you go. So let's talk a little bit about some potential Cinderella teams who are not necessarily from the more well-known conferences, but who have a shot, at least, at getting into the NCAA tournament. And we'll see if you think any of them are for real, for making it in and maybe even perhaps winning a game. So this would be most likely they'd be making it into the play-ins. So first up, we're going to go with Iona from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. They have won 6 of the last 8 MAC tournament championships. So think about them. We're also going to throw Samford in there. You might remember had a interesting and close game against Kansas, which they lost in the first round of the tournament last year. Some considered it controversial because of a late foul call. So Samford from the Southern Conference. And we'll take a look at Princeton, of course, from the Ivy League. Could be the regular season champion. I don't think they've won the Ivy League tournament in a while, but they could sneak in. And lastly, Texas Southern from the SWAC, which I guess is the Southwestern Athletic Conference. They lost to Grambling last year in the tournament championship game, and Grambling went on to the tournament and lost in the first round. So, Texas Southern from the SWAC, Iona from the MAC, along with Samford from the Southern, and Princeton from the Ivy League. Which of these 4 teams do you think is real enough to get into the NCAA tournament? If any of them. Well, JJ likes Iona. Harry likes Princeton. I'm going to go with Samford. They're probably not as good as they were last year, but no. Anybody else? All right. Anybody else want to take a second team? Anybody else want to take a chance on Texas Southern or? But do you think they're going to make it, or if you had to choose a second, you would pick them? All right. So we'll just go with one. JJ says Iona. I'll take the Indiana Fever. When the Indiana Fever, it might be kind of interesting, at least for that first round, you know. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That is it for Are They For Real? I should call it the basketball edition. So, and I don't know what does that leave us with? Anything? Do I have anything else? Do you guys have anything else? Oh, I know. One quick thing I wanted to bring up. We've been talking about baseball the last couple of years and the different services that it's on and how certain games, and it's another streaming service you have to find or pay for or whatever. And now that's starting to leak into the NFL, right? With games being on Amazon Prime, whether it was the Thursday night game or whatever. And so SNY, for you Met fans out there, and love SNY, and for the Net fans too, I think. New SNY streaming service available, $24.99 a month, or $124.99 for the MLB season, or $149.99 annually via the MLB app. It can also be bundled with MLB TV for $44.99 a month, or $219.99 for the MLB season. Now, here's the thing. Fans with SNY's regional coverage territory, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Northeastern Pennsylvania, who are authenticated subscribers through their respective pay TV providers, will also be able to access the SNY stream at no extra charge through the MLB app starting in March. The SNY app will be discontinued at the end of March, which is this month. So basically, yeah, yeah. Which is who? Yeah, yeah. Soaking. I think this is the freaking soaking. I mean, no. Yeah, but $25 a month. Yeah, yeah. Well, and to me, the last line that I read, the SNY app discontinued at the end of March. So if you live in the area, you get access to that stream for nothing, but just till the end of the month. And so anything that you've been watching on the SNY app, which is pretty much all the games, now you're going to have to cough up more money for it. That's, I guess, my real point here. So, right. But the SNY app, yeah. And if I remember reading, if I remember seeing, I didn't write it down, but I think those games are not included in this package, by the way. The games that are on Channel 9, you don't get to watch anyway. So, but if you're out of market, then you can't watch Channel 9 anyway. Yeah. It yeah. Not in July. Should you wait? What about August? Is it August okay? Or should you not be in the you should not be in the bar till September? Should not be watching the Pirates or oh, okay. You shouldn't be watching baseball on your phone in a bar. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you want to. Yeah, well, listen. You once we get into real baseball season, yeah, yeah. Well, listen. You want to see if you want to see if you want to see bat control, then tune in the summertime. Yeah, yeah. So it's a teachable moment. Really. All right. Yeah, don't do this. Don't do this, please, kids. Do not attempt any of the stunts that you see on your screen. It's a it's an octagon I use. All right, that's all I got. Johnny, you want to take us home? Whoa. Bye, everybody.